Sometimes you never know with certain parents out there. In this case, we have an evil stepmom, so things cannot go well. But that's traditional territory for another thriller done by MarVista Entertainment. For those of you who are not familiar, I'm sure some of you are like, oh, save the speech. But maybe there's somebody coming in that doesn't know who this studio is. They mostly do like TV, movie-related content. They stuff that you'd see like on Lifetime or stuff like that. I mean, maybe other networks. I've seen a bunch of their films pop up on streaming, Tubi especially. Netflix has a few. I can't speak to some of the other ones, but I know that's where you can find a couple of the ones I've looked at in the past. But they're mostly known, again, like I said, for TV films. And they tend to do, they do a lot of genres for different projects. Sometimes they have a family movie. Sometimes they do like holiday films or some seasonal set movies. Their notable one is thrillers. And I've covered the thrillers section of this channel, or on this channel especially, because there's just so many of them. And there continue to be like more. They just every single day, it seems. Maybe every single week. But anyway, this is very familiar territory for them, like, oh, and maybe an evil parent, right? It's a bit of a detour, and I like this from the traditional good girl gets into a relationship with a bad guy, and then, hell on earth happens, essentially, for her. That's kind of, again, their mainstay with their thriller section. This is different. But let's go ahead and take a look at it, though. I'm definitely interested by the synopsis here. So this is according to IMDb. A widower and his daughters become the targets of two con artists. So kind of like, again, just a mixed, maybe sad family situation. Maybe someone died just recently, or actually, in this case, the husband's wife and the daughter's mother. So that could be, again, maybe having two people come in. That could be a pretty bad predicament. I'm assuming that perhaps what's going to happen here is you're going to see the con be established through two people who come into the party. Actually, well, yeah, it said two con artists. Well, two con artists. Actually, I was gonna say maybe if like a mother figure comes in, or just maybe another woman out there and tries to get the one up, right? Two. That's interesting. Maybe every person has a kid as well. So again, I think the establishment for the actual con taking place is going to come through the relationship. Now, this is interesting. So, like I said, I make a point of saying this is a MarVista Entertainment movie because as much as I'm like, well, this is a big mainstay for a lot of their different types of films, this is also the studio that does not behave like many other ones out there. Most studios know to not take their movie trailer and give away everything. And the weird thing is these are like 90-minute films, so they're probably about maybe 30 minutes shorter. The problem is, every single trailer I've seen so far, for the most part, other than maybe like one or two exceptions, they spoil the endings. So you'll watch a 90-minute movie, right? In that setting, you'll get all the information. You'll get the twists, you'll get the establishment of the plot. You watch a movie trailer from MarVista, and you pretty much get a 3-minute movie. It seems like, again, kind of like, why would you do this? Because it kind of just upends the need to watch your film, but they continue to do it, and they do not change their ways. So I get a big kick out of watching these, going like, they're still not changing. Let's go ahead and take a look. As good as their films are, and I've seen a couple of them, and they're enjoyable. Let's go ahead and take a look at Evil Stepmom. We're going to watch the trailer for this first, and we're going to talk about it more in my condensed review segment, following us watching the video together. Okay. Without further ado, so they say evil stepmom. I'm definitely thinking maybe the two comes in, maybe a mom or a mom figure and a daughter. I would imagine that. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look. Or maybe not necessarily a daughter, but another kid. Here we go. Or maybe she has a husband. I don't know.
What are you doing?
Finding someone for Dad.
I don't think Dad's ready to date. Besides, don't you think he should be in on this decision?
Dad's not gonna throw himself into dating, but if we make it happen...
Well, I'd be careful.
The perfect guy.
That's not who I thought it was. I thought for a minute that was the actress who played Moira Queen on Arrow.
You must be Coach Lasky.
Tim.
I'm Bethany's mom.
Hi.
Welcome to the Toffees.
Looks like the coach is making my mom feel pretty welcome. Kind of sucks switching districts in your senior year.
Where were you before?
Small private school. I'm sure you've never heard of it.
It's interesting.
I knew he'd call.
You've gotten,
Where is Mrs. Lasky?
I like the fact that the girls are like, oh, you were trying to help Dad, but it's like you're putting Dad in a dangerous situation and you don't even know it.
Doesn't make me uncomfortable.
You all ready to model the winter line?
A&G wear for life. I can't believe that company is worth over $9 million.
Or don't you think it was weird that Bethany knew exactly what A&G was worth?
If my hot doctor mom was chatting up some guy, I'd Google his net worth too.
Looks like our parents are really getting along.
I'm a bit stressed. A pipe burst and I have to find somewhere to stay.
Stay with us.
You need to play smart.
It's a nice
Can I
house
make
they
some room
chose,
in the
by the
closet?
way.
Absolutely.
I saw Caroline take Mom's pearls.
We trying to find problems where there aren't any.
How come all your social media is new? You don't have any posts from before last month like you didn't exist before that.
I'm gonna have to keep a close eye on you, Gabriella.
Of course she does.
She had her license.
You're a
revoked.
liability to
She's
her.
hiding something.
I don't like people getting in my business.
It's time for things to change around here.
Bethany's not 17, she's 23. She was arrested for assault.
See, this is,
Summer.
here we go. This is the
Dylan
type of
knows
stuff where it's like,
something
okay,
to
now the
try,
trailer,
and
you know, for all the
everything
promise, we're derailing a bit.
Scream and I'll shoot.
I'm sorry I doubted you.
Make some new memories.
Note to all kids out there, and I get it, you know, when you're in a situation that perhaps, you know, someone tragically passed away and you see your dad perhaps, I mean, again, I think there's an intrinsic need for, I mean, well, to be respectful and fair, you know, I'm sure nobody in the case can ever fully, you know, match the person that passed away, because, you know, that was a romance, right? I'm sure there were years to be lived between them. I understand, like, wanting to help someone that seems to be emotionally in need, but perhaps it was better to remain in mourning for at least a little longer, because now we have somebody in the mix that, you know, there's a whole idea of, like, maybe don't move too rashly into situations, and perhaps trying to find a date for Dad. Maybe I should have consulted with him first, just saying. I'd imagine probably for him, maybe, you know, I'm sure he'd be open to it, because at the end it's like, well, it's daughters, you know, maybe, and, you know, his daughters, women tend to be the more emotional, right, or emotionally responsive of the two sexes. So I'd imagine that they're more in tune with the like, relational elements, that maybe they can see that he's longing for that and he's craving it. But maybe you should have consulted your dad prior to going in, so you can be like, well, maybe I want to wait a little bit, and you can avoid this entire situation. Because sometimes you can fall in love with the wrong person, or maybe that person, well, maybe you fall in love with them, but that person, you know, it's all a facade. Which essentially for this woman, yeah, that is the case. Again, well, you know, they kind of spoiled it very early on, even though, you know, from the title, like, evil stepmom, clearly she's going to go do something, stealing, you know, she's a petty thief in this case, it seems. But, you know, with the threat of a gun that she's carrying all around her. I would have appreciated, again, some of the elements to not be disclosed here. The fact that, like, the daughter's age was altered. The fact that she's got, like, no social... Well, I mean, you could have featured that in the trailer. Like, she's got no social media presence. It increases the tension, but it just lays out a bit too much, right? So, you know, I love watching these trailers. And, you know, MarVista does have effective pitches, and they're very enjoyable films to watch. The problem is, you sabotage yourself by spoiling everything. But it still looks, I'd still be game to watch it. What are your guys' thoughts with Evil Stepmom? Let me know down below. Don't forget all the stuff, the like and subscribe, the sharing that bell. And as we make our way through more MarVista content, because you know on this channel I love to watch his movies, and in some capacity, you know, roast them for still doing the same thing over and over and over with their trailers. And again, they do not change. I will see you guys at a point, but for now, thanks for watching this video. I love you guys. God bless and peace.